Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got some gaming news, and gaming news has been on fire over the last few days, namely because of Grand Theft Auto 6, which I'm probably going to make a video about Grand Theft Auto 6 because there's a lot of talks about the female character and all this other stuff, and I feel like I can kind of chime in being a big fan of Grand Theft Auto. But today's video, we're going to be talking about PlayStation because PlayStation is completely, and I mean utterly destroying their fan base by literally removing media that was legally purchased and not giving anybody the option to maintain the access to that media. This is why physical media will always be king. This is why I will never advocate for anything digital. If there is a physical version of whatever content I want to consume, I will absolutely always go for the physical copy, because if you go strictly digital, stuff like this will happen. You absolutely leave yourself open to potentially giving whoever sold you the digital copy complete control over whether or not you have access to that content. So let's get into this article, guys, from Bounding Into Comics. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into the YouTube algorithm. So it says, in further making the case for physical media, Sony announces PlayStation users will soon lose access to legally purchased Discovery Channel content. In the latest reminder that the concept of digital purchase is, at its core, anti-consumer, Sony has announced that thanks to a licensing hiccup, PlayStation users who use the system's signature store to acquire various Discovery Channel series will soon lose wholesale access to their personally owned content. Announcing this move in a December 2nd legal notice, Sony informed its customers that as of 31st of December 2023, due to our content licensing arrangements with content providers, you will no longer be able to watch any of your previously purchased Discovery content, and the content will be removed from your video library. Per a list provided by Sony, over 1,000 titles will be affected as part of this change, including such series as American Chopper, Mythbusters, My Strange Addiction, and Through the Wormhole with Morgan Freeman. Ladies and gentlemen, seriously, if you have the option to purchase a physical version of whatever the hell it is you are enjoying, please do the option. Please actually do the physical copy, because this stuff right here is going to happen quite often. And even if it wasn't a licensing hiccup or whatever fucking thing they want to say, ultimately, if they want to deny you access to whatever it is you actually purchase, they can. The digital rights are just well within their own personal rights to take away from you whenever they see fit. You have nothing and you will own nothing. This is what we always talk about. And again, this goes down the rabbit hole of you will own nothing and be happy. But let's be real, this is exactly what this is. This is them telling you, hey, yeah, all that stuff you paid for, yeah, you're not really going to be able to keep that anymore. Sorry, bro. And guess what? The only thing we're going to be able to keep is your money. We're going to keep your money, but you're not going to keep the content, and you're going to be happy about it, and you're going to go somewhere else, and you're going to spend the money again to get the same access to the content that you already paid for, because you're an idiot. That's basically it, man. And you know what? I'm not surprised that Sony's doing this. Honestly, I'm not surprised at all. A lot of these manufacturers, these publishers, whatever, are going to absolutely start doing this time and time again. Look what they're doing with classic games, right? Look what they're doing with retro games. They are literally selling retro games on the store and then taking them off and trying to resell it again later down the line for whatever reason. They have multiple different ways of trying to do that. They're also forcing you to basically only go this route and remove emulators from being a thing. They're trying everything they can to try to control the media and try to control the content that you love to consume, and they're going to make sure that they get every single dollar they possibly can out of you. This is honestly insane, and a lot of people need to talk about this more, because what Sony's doing is crazy. As of writing, neither Sony nor Discovery have offered any public clarification as to which exact aspect of their content licensing arrangement resulted in this development, though it was more likely has something to do with the network's recent merger with Warner Brothers. Further, it notably appears Sony will not be offering any refunds for any content affected by this change. In doing so, effectively leaving customers in the win regarding their legally purchased media. As noted above, this development is but the latest in an ever-growing tide of anti-consumer practices coming out of just not Hollywood, but the worldwide entertainment industry as a whole. From video game giant Capcom declaring war on the practice of modding video games, to Crunchyroll and Sony locking previously free to watch anime simulcast behind a newly introduced subscription tier to cases such as this, where there was a given company can up and revoke customers' access to their purchased content. It's apparent now more than ever that corporations are no friends to consumers. And listen, they never were. They never were. These corporations don't give a crap. They never have given a crap. This is why I keep telling people who love to get virtue signaled to, you don't really realize that these corporations do not give a crap about you. You are just a dollar at the end of the day. And if they inconvenience you, if they throw you to the woods, if they throw you to the side, they don't care. Why would they care? They're only going to care so long as you stop paying, but you're not. That's the thing. You're not going to stop paying. The people who lost all of this content from purchasing it from Sony, they're going to absolutely go purchase it again. They're going to purchase it somewhere else, and the cycle's going to continue. They're never going to learn, and that's the issue. So as long as that continues, Sony and other companies like Sony are going to do whatever the hell they feel like doing. And in this certain scenario, since you have to deal with licensing agreements, they're going to make sure that they take your money and keep it, and they're going to make sure that you know it, and you do. So that's the problem. And it is this constant unfair fight that has led many individuals to begin banging the drum in favor of physical media ownership. After all, at least for now, corporations have no legal right to your physical property. Such notable criers include Oppenheimer director Christopher Nolan, who recently lamented how there is a danger these days that if things only exist in the streaming version, they do get taken down, they come and go, and Pacific Rim creator Guillermo del Toro. Echoing his colleague's thoughts in a November 20th post to his personal Twitter account, the director likewise declared physical media is almost a Fahrenheit 451, where people memorize entire books and thus became the book they loved level of responsibility. If you own a great 4K HD, Blu-ray, DVD, etc. of a film or films you love, he added, you are the custodian of those films for generations to come. Exactly. And that's the thing too, with the Blu-rays and the DVDs, they can't edit those. So you know what happens when these movies go on streaming services? What ends up happening? As modern times continue forward, you get people that become more and more sensitive. And what used to be funny in the past is now considered offensive in the present. So you end up having these streaming companies censor the movies, even if they're older movies. You have them censoring the product and not showing what it actually was. So if you don't have access to anything else other than the streaming version, you're never going to know the truth. You're never going to know what the content actually was like, which is why, again, I am a huge proponent of physical media. I agree with Guillermo del Toro. I agree with Christopher Nolan. I agree with everybody who is all for physical media, because companies like Netflix, companies like Disney, companies like Sony, they are absolutely going to try to control everything they possibly can regarding whatever shows up on their actual platform. So please, guys, if you are interested in anything, make sure there is a physical media version of that thing you're interested in, and go make sure you go buy that instead of buying it on streaming. I understand it is a hell of a lot more convenient, don't get me wrong, but eventually it's only a matter of time before they screw you over. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.